Hello everyone, this is again Ash and Simon from the Nice Game Bunker in Bonn, and we're back with a new series, and this time it's going to be all about the clans of Vampire the Masquerade Heritage.
That's right. Heritage is a legacy game where each chapter you're going to have the opportunity to choose which of the one of the 9 clans to control, and we're going to make a little series explaining each of the clans, how they work, and we're starting with the Ventrue.
The first clan we're going to look at today is the Ventrue, the aristocrats and rulers of Vampire the Masquerade.
Right, they see themselves as having not only the right to rule, but the obligation. They feel that they need to rule with some kind of justice that the other clans might not necessarily agree with.
Exactly. And the way we represent this in the game is with their own very own special ability, which is the ability to proclaim edicts that not only they themselves but also other players have to follow or face the consequences.
Exactly. Now, most clan schemes in Heritage are one-off special effects. However, edicts are one of the few kinds of clan schemes that will remain in play. The way that this works is that each edict in the Ventrue deck has a certain focus on a certain kind of character attributes. It might be looking at whether the vampire is highborn or lowborn. It might be looking at their sort of morality. It might be looking at their archetype or where they come from geographically. And there's some sort of effect that will be applied to them. The Ventrue might decide that vampires from the north are forbidden, or that the low clans need to rise. Whenever they decide, there's going to be some sort of effect.
Unlikely.
It's not a very Ventrue thing to do, but they can do it. And then for the rest of the game, until that edict is replaced, because you can only have one edict in play, that effect is going to trigger every time that a character is recruited, or rather is activated from that region.
Exactly. And what that means for the strategy when you're playing the Ventrue or playing against the Ventrue, we'll explore in the next segment.
So the strategy when playing the Ventrue, I think there are 2 sort of main tracks which are a little bit contradictory, but I'll explain them. The first is that the edicts provide an ongoing benefit, and there's a cost when you bring them into play. You have to activate the scheme. So naturally what you might want to do is bring out an edict at the start of the game, and then sort of farm that benefit for the rest of it while you focus on other things. That's one way to do it. The other way is completely the opposite, because every time you bring an edict into play, there's actually 2 reasons to do this. Every time you bring an edict into play, you get to choose which attribute you want to focus on. For instance, if it's the morality, you can choose the blue or the yellow. And if it's the region, you get to choose which color. So the more frequently you change this and update it, the more you can be reacting to what the other players are doing, because the Ventrue can get sort of stuck in their ways. And the other reason is that when you bring an edict into play, you're going to activate the coterie leader, which means the coterie leader is going to impact all of the battlegrounds. And when you think about it, this can be quite a lot of activation. So this is a way for the Ventrue to really dominate those battlegrounds. However, it does mean that you're going to be bringing out a lot of these clan schemes, making a lot of coteries just to do this thing. So I see that as sort of the 2 ways to play the Ventrue.
Exactly. And if you dominate the battlegrounds in this way, you really have to make sure that you take the benefit from it and not end up in a situation where it's all gone to waste.
Exactly. And this can go to waste in a couple of ways. Because the Ventrue are so sort of committed to their rules, it is possible, once the Ventrue player makes an edict and commits to one of these, one side of the edict that they're declaring, the other players can take advantage of that. They can make the most of that. And so it is possible, for instance, the unexhaustion edict, it is possible for you to run out of your own characters in your bloodline to unexhaust, and then you're going to start being forced to unexhaust the other players. But you have to do it because you're committed to this rule.
Exactly. Once you've said the nobles are going to get this benefit, well, if there's the only noble is my opponent's noble, I'm still bound by the rules of my edict, and I have to give him that effect. All right, that's it for our very quick overview on the clan Ventrue in Vampire the Masquerade Heritage. Again, if you like this kind of content, it would be nice if you showed it to us with a little button. You can also subscribe or pre-order the game with a link at the bottom of the video.
Yeah, stay tuned. In this series, we're going to be going through all of the clans in the game, so stick around for that.